Hey, Tableau Nation. This is Larry Silverstein of Exasol, and I worked for Tableau for 9 years. And I remember how a slow database connection could derail the otherwise delightful Tableau experience. But it doesn't have to be that way. Thanks to the blazing fast Exasol Analytics engine, you could start exploring right now with the free Exasol Community Edition. Just go to exasol.com, click Get Started, be on your way. It's well documented. I'm not going to go into how to get it started, but I'll show you the desktop. The important thing to note is the IP address. You'll need that to connect to Exasol from Tableau. So let's go into Tableau. I'm going to connect to a server, and I'm going to use Exasol JDBC. But if you don't have that there, you might need to go grab it from additional connectors. Let's get started. Got my server here. The port is going to be 8563. We'll use a username and password. We'll put in our password of Exasol and make sure to uncheck validate server certificate, and we'll sign in. The database comes loaded with the famous TPC-H 10 gigabyte database. That's what we're going to use here. It's a pretty meaty database. Here are my different tables. I'm going to select a handful of them now. I'm going to take the customers, orders, line items, and also let's do nation. All right, we're going to need to join a few of these up. To customers to orders. Okay. And also line items. Order key, order key. Great. We're ready to start analyzing and building. Let's first see how much data we're dealing with. Let's take a look at the line item count. And that was fast, like 60 million rows of data did it that fast. Great. Let's start building a real analysis. Let's look at the number of line items over time, but a spoiler alert, the TPC-H data contains random data that is pretty evenly distributed. So I apologize in advance for like having a lack of a true story like the Superstore data set has. So let's do that. Let's go get the ship date. Look at that by month. Let's go get the line items. Put that in there. And it looks like, maybe there's some incomplete data, maybe they're just ramping up and incomplete data here. We can clean this up a little bit. Let's do that. Let's go get that ship date again. We'll filter. Missed. Okay. Here's. And we'll take out the 2 there. First and last year. And let's break this down by, let's say, the ship mode. We'll put that on color. They're all kind of bunched up, but we could make that look a little better by eliminating 0 on the axis. All right, that makes it look a little bit better. So, you can click on one and you can see the actual values. All right, great. Let's build another analysis. Before we do that, we'll just name this something like line items over time. Great. All right, let's do something geographically. I will use the nation table there. We'll just need to tell Tableau its geographic role is country region. Great. We'll drag that on. And let's now look at, let's say, the number of orders, size. You could look at the total price by color. Again, this is going against a live database. To make this look a little better, again, there's not much variance between them because it's randomized data, but we could at least fake that a little bit. Let's choose a different color palette. There we go. All right, that looks a little better. Call this GeoView or something like that. Great, and now let's put them together into an interactive dashboard. My GeoView on top. My line items over time on the bottom. We will connect them, filter. But now, like, the extraordinary thing about this is the speed. So remember, no extract here. This is a live database running on a small virtual machine on a laptop. So imagine if this were running on a properly sized server. And by the way, Exasol is a leader in price performance ratio. So you need less hardware than other databases to get the performance you need. So with that, if you're intrigued, please visit exasol.com. Get started with the free community edition. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope to talk to you soon. Bye now.